Welcome to the SFBN. 3 in the Key is live tonight as we break down all the great high school boys basketball playoff action in Pennsylvania. So stay tuned. We got a lot of great analysis and predictions certain to go wrong right here for you. Stay tuned to 3 in the Key. Good evening, high school basketball fans, and welcome to another episode of 3 in the Key, presented by the SFBN. We are your one-stop shop for all things high school boys basketball in Pennsylvania. I'm Richie Blyweiss, and I'm joined this evening by our high school basketball experts. I've got Josh Abrams, and I have Jack Cap. Thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. Cap, it's been a little bit since we've seen you.
It's been a couple weeks.
Man, I'm glad to have you back. But you were checking in with us last week. Your wife, Bonnie, was helping out.
My wife was commenting on all the basketball.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. She had some great insights. I think we should get her in here one week. We'll see what she has to say.
She knows virtually nothing, but
that's all right.
Comment. Yeah.
What, you want to change that? We can edit that out where you say your wife knows virtually nothing.
About
I don't know.
Basketball.
Oh, about basketball. There it is. I gave him a redemption moment and he took it. So thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Be sure that as you are watching the show, if you're watching live, even if you're watching on delay, please comment with us. Ask us your questions. As you saw last week, we had opportunities to get 2 comments live on the air, questions live on the air, and we would love to have that. We'd love to have more of that this week. So please be sure to chime in. The first thing that you're able to chime in on tonight is our weekly trivia question. So here it comes. Who has the most high school basketball career points in Delaware Valley? We're talking districts 1 and 12. So again, the most high school career points in the Delaware Valley. If you know, you think you have an answer, take your shot. The prizes are fantastic because, well, there isn't any. But we're going to give you the credit for it. So make sure you chime in. We'll definitely give you a nice shout out if you're looking for some publicity. Make sure you get that answer to the trivia question in. So, guys, tonight there's a lot happening here in boys basketball across the state of Pennsylvania. So much happening as we get into tournament time. You know, we talk March Madness in college, but we really have the February frenzy going on right now. You like that? February frenzy, you like that?
That came from the boss.
It came from the boss. That's why I use it, and I make it sound good when I do it. That's right, because Ari watches and he signs the checks. So that's why we make it sound really good. So tonight for you, we're going to break down a couple of things we didn't get to last week. We're going to talk 6A and 5A in District 1. We're also going to talk District 7, the Whippy Out. Lots going on there. Yeah. District 12, you got the Public League, Catholic League. So really, we are going to talk about some amazing upsets, things I don't think any of us could have predicted going on, as well as the upcoming schedules. You know, we still have a couple of weeks left in this, but we really have to figure out what our predictions are as we march forward in this. We'll take a look at PIAA brackets, and we really have so much to discuss. So guys, I want to get right into it. I want to talk District 1. District 1, 6A. There were a lot of first-round upsets. And, guys, I want to just read these out to you here, and then I want you just to jump in however you want, pick whichever game you're thinking here. But you can see the brackets there up on your screen right now. Take a look at these upsets here. You got number 24, Downingtown West. They beat number 9, Garnet Valley. You've got number 20, CB East, beats number 13, Owen-J. Roberts. Number 18, Neshaminy, beats number 15, CB South. Number 23, Perkiomen Valley beats number 10, Methacton. And number 2, North Penn beats number 11, Springford. So these are your upsets here, guys. And really, I mean, listen, we talk about brackets, and we talked about it a lot in our football show, too. You know, do the seedings really matter, especially when you get into these opening rounds? Do they really matter? You've got some teams that might have not really seen each other a whole lot during the season. But talk to me about these upsets, guys. And Cap, you haven't been here, so you're well rested. I'm going to let you lead off here.
We were talking before the show, and the key thing here is that 9, 10, and 11 all went down. So
Garnet Valley, Methacton, and Springford.
That's right. And the first 8 get a bye. Mm-hmm. So those are the top 3 teams in the first round, and they are gone out of there. But all these games were low scoring. I think the biggest difference in seeding was Downingtown West and Garnet Valley. So Garnet Valley at number 9, a highly ranked team, a highly rated team by PowerPoint, and down they go. They're out.
Yeah, and as you said, Cap, all of these games not only they were very low scoring, and I assumed that is because that these teams don't see each other a lot. They don't know how each other play. So as a result, you're probably more tempted to take ill-advised shots and low percentage shots where you're trying to push the offense, push the tempo, and put those points up on the board, but it's just not happening because they're not falling and they're not getting good offensive possessions. But it was just tight, hard, gritty games all around. You look at some of the factors that went into these upsets. Garnet Valley was without their top rebounder throughout most of the game because they needed to get offense on the board, but they just couldn't do it.
And that hurts not having your top rebounder.
Yeah. Wow. Well, guys,
Team,
top rebound, that's key right there, especially when you get into playoff time like this. Second round comes up on Tuesday, tomorrow night, February the 20th. Let's take a look at some of the best matchups coming up here. Let's take a look at some of these. You've got number 4 CB West. They're going to go against number 20 CB East. This is a big rivalry. I mean, a big spread in terms of their seeding, their rankings here. But this is a big rivalry when you talk about Central Bucks School District.
It is a traditional rivalry. Now, CB West beat Abington last week, I guess it was.
Yeah.
However, Abington was missing Eric Dixon with some type of bruised finger. We're not sure exactly what it was, but it was on his non-shooting hand, which in his case is his right hand because he's a big lefty. So they chose not to play Eric Dixon, and CB West got the victory in the playoffs, in the SOL playoffs. So now they face up against CB East, their traditional rival. And CB West, a higher-ranked team, but when these two go at it, anything could happen.
This could be another upset we're looking at here.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Could be. I mean, we could possibly see the 20th ranked team, the team that barely made it in, that was on the bubble basically all season. We could see them go into the quarterfinals here and
potentially take on Downingtown or Coatesville.
Yeah,
Downingtown East or Coatesville.
And even that, there's so many. You look at these matchups right now, guys. There are a lot of SOL matchups, and within that, league matchups within the SOL and within the Central League. You look at Abington and Neshaminy, 2 SOL national rivals that have met each other twice this year.
But either CB West or CB East, I mean, you have to think, there have been a lot of upsets, but you have to think that Coatesville, well-rested coming off of that opening round bye, you have to think that Coatesville really is the team that's got to look out for. It's one of those Central Bucks teams.
Having that bye is huge.
It is
because it obviously gives you more time to prepare for teams like this, but it's just going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, again, second round is coming up. That's on Tuesday, tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, hopefully live with us here. February the 20th. Let's take a look at some of the best matchups again, though. We've got number 5 now, Downingtown East, Coatesville. Number 5, Coatesville, number 12, Downingtown East.
Another traditional rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both out there in the same area. They played each other before, obviously, and it should be a very interesting. Now, this is a little closer. Number 5 versus number 12. So now we're getting a little bit closer as opposed to the CB West, number 4, and CB East, number 20. You never know what's going to happen in a game like this, and Coatesville is very strong. They've been strong all season. But Downingtown East, that's no slouch team either.
We've got a good suburban one-league matchup, good SOL matchup coming up here. You've got number 2 Abington versus number 18 Neshaminy.
Right.
Chris Archidiacono, can he lift the skins? This is going to be a huge upset here with Eric Dixon and
Josh
Abington.
and I were talking
what are you guys
about
thinking?
that, and my feeling is, look, he's averaging 26 points a game, thereabouts. I'm thinking that Chris Archidiacono is going to be on flames that night, and I'm figuring he's going to hit for 40. Now, they may concentrate. Abington may concentrate on him, but he is a scorer, no question about it. And Neshaminy doesn't have much else.
We've got
right.
You've seen them, right?
I've only seen them a couple times so far, but
I'm dying to see Archidiacono, and I have not been able to get out there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Abington approaches Neshaminy, because they can either key in on Archidiacono and make everyone else do more, or they can try and shut down the rest of Neshaminy's team and let Archidiacono do everything by himself, which isn't going to be easy to do against that Abington team.
Right, and obviously Abington is the favorite team. They're number 2. Neshaminy comes in at number 18. But we had the injury to Eric Dixon on that.
That's a big factor.
We don't know how serious it is.
Guys, let's talk about one more matchup here. Number 6 Penn Ridge versus number 22 North Penn. Now, this is a big rivalry, more so when you talk football. Not as much basketball, but this is definitely more of a football rivalry.
Right.
Usually, North Penn comes out on top. But in terms of the basketball team, I guess you have to say that Penn Ridge really does have the better team. Can they avoid the upset here?
Penn Ridge has been the better team all year. Didn't they beat Reading? Am I correct?
Yes, they went into Reading and beat them.
Reading, the defending 6A champions.
In Reading.
In Reading.
Which is a big victory. Reading only lost a couple games this season. I think 2 or 3, something like that. And you mentioned the football. Obviously, North Penn is the football power. But these guys are like real close to each other geographically. I think where they're situated.
Yeah.
And the kids know each other, and you never know what's going to happen in a game like this. But Penn Ridge is the favorite team.
Yeah, well, and I have such high praise for Dean Behrens at Penn Ridge because he puts his team through a battle-tested schedule, and it's not the most eye-popping schedule. But he has his team prepared every game, and Penn Ridge is almost like their league rival CB West, where if they play to their own tempo and they play, they run the game the way that they want to, they can beat anybody. And I just don't see how I give North Penn a lot of credit for going in and upsetting Springford, but I just don't see how Penn Ridge can fall at home against North Penn.
All right, guys. Well, we have another bracket we have to take a look at, and this is coming in District 1 5A. Now, the first round is going to start tomorrow. It's a Tuesday and Wednesday kickoff for them. So we got a couple of things happening tomorrow. You can see the bracket there up on your screen. It's a much smaller bracket than what we just looked at in 6A, but a lot of really great things, but big upsets from 6A. You take a look here, and you can see we got some big matchups. Pencrest and Upper Moreland, that's your top seed versus your lowest seed there. Chichester and Holy Ghost. You got Great Valley and Pottsgrove, Wissahickon and Strathaven, Chester and Academy Park, Sun Valley, Marple Newtown, WC Ruston. You got Upper Perk. That could be a really good game there, guys. That's tomorrow. And you've got Bishop Shanahan and you got WC East coming up there in a 2-15 matchup. I mean, you know, we saw a lot of upsets in 6A. Who do we like here? Who do we look forward to seeing as these games kick off Tuesday and Wednesday this week?
Clearly, Pencrest is rated number 1 for a reason. They're 21-3 and 14-2 in league. So Pencrest defending District 1 champs in the 5A classification. That's a really good team. They beat Chester, they beat Upper Darby, Garnet Valley, and they beat Conestoga all during the season. Tyler Norwood is a major scorer, really good player. Pencrest lost the Central League final. However, they are clearly the favorite team in this league.
Pencrest plays in that Central League, which is full of a bunch of District 1 6A tournament teams that are very good. A matchup that I'm looking at, though, specifically is the number 3, the 3-14 matchup, Chester hosting Academy Park. These two are league rivals. They go back and forth at least twice a year. They know each other very well. It is at Chester, which I think at this point, you know, obviously it's playoffs. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But Academy Park's going into Chester, and Chester, as when we talked about it when you weren't here, Cap, me and Ari basically said it's going to be a Pencrest Chester final with he thinks. Great? Yeah, it would be amazing. I have Pencrest winning this 5A bracket, but with the amount of upsets we saw in 6A, there's a couple more interleague matchups here where the two teams from the same league are playing each other. It's just very unpredictable, and you know we could maybe see an upset at least in the top both halves of the bracket.
Cap, do you have a guess for a winner from this bracket?
I'm picking Chester. I'm going against the grain on this, but Chester is a team just kept getting better. They won 13 in a row, I believe.
Yeah,
lost 1 and then won a few more in a row. I mean, remember back early in the season we talked about them, and we said, it's not Chester's year, but first year coach. Right, and then all of a sudden, here comes Chester winning all these. They are tough to beat at home. Very tough to beat at home. So we'll see where all this goes.
Absolutely.
I mean, but I and Chester traditional winner in in the PIAA. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We do have a comment coming in on our Facebook live stream
Is it
right
my
now.
wife?
It's not your wife this time. No, it's not your wife. It's Ari Bluestein. We all kind of we've heard of him, right? We all kind of know him. So Ari is at home right now watching our show, and he has a guess on your trivia question, Cap. I'm going to say what his guess is. He is saying, is it Maurice Rice? Is that what he's saying? Maurice
very good
Rice.
guess.
It's a good guess, but it's wrong.
Should we say it's wrong?
Well, no, I'm going to tell him it's wrong.
Right?
Okay, no, totally. Any chance I get to tell Ari he's wrong, I take it. So, Ari, you're wrong. But his guess was Maurice Rice from Strawberry Mansion.
Right. Great player.
Beat
Great
Northeast in 2002 pub championship game.
I was there.
Said he believes he had over 2,500 points. That's his guess.
2,600.
With 2,600. So he's wrong
2,600.
twice.
He had over.
So Ari, you're wrong twice.
Yeah, but
okay, this is not going well for Ari right now.
Yeah,
this just isn't going
Maurice
well.
Rice did not end up with the career that everybody thought he was going to end up with. He ended up at George Washington University and basically left the school in his senior year and did not play pro ball.
All right. District 3
But
is
he was
where we
very
got to
good.
get to. He was very good.
Very good.
District 3 is where we have to get to. Cap, I'm sorry to cut you off. There's just so much.
quite
This
all right.
script is huge.
No,
I got
let's
in front of
move.
me here. There's just so much to talk. Let's go District 3. So last week, actually, we were live on the air. Brackets were coming out last week. Let's take a look at the bracket, see what really intrigues us, and also let's discuss the power rankings from District 3. Guys, there is just so much here. Let's talk. Do you guys want to talk power rankings first?
Yeah,
Let's talk power rankings before we get to these brackets. I want to go 6A first here. I want to talk about 6A. I'm just going to give us the top 5 in terms of these power rankings. We got Manheim Township there at 17-5, Cedar Crest at 18-4, Chambersburg is at 17-4. Hempfield is 20-2, and Reading 19-2. So Hemphill with a better record, but you've got Reading taking the number 1 in the power rankings here. And do you want to go right into these brackets real quick? We can talk brackets immediately. Let's do that. So Reading at that number 1 seed, they're going to get the first round bye here. And then you've got, let's see, they're going to take the bye. They'll take on the winner of Central York and Dallastown. Then you've got Cedar Crest with a bye. They will take on the winner of Manheim Township and Conestoga Valley. Hempfield gets a bye. They take on the winner of Wilson and Carlisle. You've got Chambersburg taking a bye, and they'll take on the winner of Harrisburg and Cedar Cliff. So you've got some really interesting matchups. Your top 4 teams getting byes into the quarterfinal round. That'll be on February 23rd. But these games start up tomorrow, guys. Who are we looking at? What do we like here?
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, Reading, obviously the defending 6A champions and ranked number 1 once again. So you're thinking, I mean, look, Central York and Dallastown are going to play it out, and the winner has to play Reading, and it's probably going to be Reading moving on from that, I would think.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying Reading, you think Reading takes it all?
Oh, yeah, I think Reading, look, Reading, I have them at 21-4, so my numbers are a little different.
No, 21-4.
It is correct.
21-4, you are correct.
21-4, yeah. So they did lose 4 games, but that's surprising, actually.
No, you were absolutely correct, unlike Ari with his trivia answer. Well, it's fine. No, it's fine.
That was a good guess.
It was a great guess. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I have Reading winning this bracket. Amid barring any crazy upset or crazy injury that they have to go through. I hope that doesn't happen. This is just honestly the best time of the year, and Reading they're never going to look as good as they did last year with Lonnie Walker, but they're still a force to be reckoned with. And I could honestly, you could see them meeting up with anyone on that bottom half of the bracket. I'm looking for maybe even Harrisburg to make some noise in there too.
Preseason favorite, Harrisburg.
Harrisburg was the preseason favorite.
Chambersburg is very good, and also Hempfield, which I don't know much about, but Hempfield has a 21-3 record.
Yeah, I mean, like these buys that the teams get are so important because it's just more time to prepare. It's really not.
It's an extra 3 days rest, guys.
Yeah,
it's an extra 3 days.
And
these games are going to start tomorrow on the 20th.
Yeah, these guys have been working very hard. These young guys.
But these are, when we look at NCAA, we talk college. You've got games there that teams are playing consistently on pretty much every day, every other day at most. you've got nice breaks put in here. You've got 2, 3, 4 days even into these district breaks here, where guys really are getting a lot of time to rest and recuperate, and then be able to strategize. You know, you're not getting that kind of time in college. You're getting a night maybe, and that's a grueling tournament. Not just the actual act of playing, but the meetings and the video and the film and all that stuff, just to be able to go back and forth.
Well,
There's
the classroom
so much.
work.
Yeah, exactly. The classroom work that you really don't even think about.
Yeah, the
That's
average
what it
viewer
is.
does not realize how
No.
much work goes into playing a sport at a high level.
No,
That's true.
absolutely. But I think that's going to be really interesting to look
Six
out
teams
for.
come out of this Class 6A in District 3 and go on to the PIAA state championships. So 6 teams come out of here. It's going to be competitive.
Yeah, but you've got Reading, Cedar Crest, Hempfield, and Chambersburg. They are just waiting for this for tomorrow night to be over, so they can figure out who they're playing. Let's talk 5A real quick.
Okay.
We're going to talk 5A District 3. Again, let's talk top 5 in these power rankings here. So top 5 going from 5 up to 1. Milton Hershey is at 18-3. Dover is at 19-3. Northeastern, Greencastle Antrim, and Lampeter Township, going in that order, 3, 2, 1. They are all sitting at 20-2. Looking at the bracket from 5A, though. Now, you don't have teams getting byes in this round. Nobody gets a bye here. Everybody is going to actually be playing tonight, and you can see these brackets
Right now,
up on your screen right now.
These games are happening right now.
These games are happening right now. Last week we broke with news about District 3. We're doing it again here. So here's the first round right now. You've got Lampeter, Strasburg, and Northern York. That's a 1-16 matchup. An 8-9 matchup, Lower Dauphin and Ephrata. You've got a 4-13 matchup with Dover, Garden Spot. 5-12 matchup is Milton Hershey and Shippensburg. You've got a 2-15 matchup, Greencastle Antrim and Donegal. You've got a 7-10 matchup, New Oxford and William Penn. A 3-14 matchup, Northeastern and Conrad Weiser. Northeastern, a team maybe to watch for.
Yeah, they're very good.
6-11 matchup is Hershey and Exeter Township. And really, there is a lot there that we could talk about. But guys, I'll let you take the ball on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame we don't really get to see a lot of these teams play. There's so many high school teams out there that you can only keep up with so many.
Well, and I feel like there are teams I just listed off that we've never had a chance to discuss, just because District 3 is so big. District 3 is a big
It's very
district. There's a
competitive.
lot happening.
We talked about Milton Hershey. We talked about Hershey.
Milton Hershey and Hershey got a lot of time.
Strasburg got a little attention there.
Northeastern's gotten a lot of attention,
in Northeastern, because they have that, I think it's Rizzuto is his name.
Yeah, Anthony Rizzuto.
Anthony Rizzuto.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's related to Phil Rizzuto, the old major leaguer.
That I don't know.
I have a Phil
don't know who that
Rizzuto
is.
bobblehead doll. I do. I have a Phil Rizzuto. There you go. So I hope
He's
so.
a good player.
He was a great player.
He's a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of
New York
Famer.
Yankee.
Could be his grandson.
A Yankee.
But
you go.
there's some really good teams in here. I mean, Hershey's very good. Hershey and Milton Hershey. So, don't forget, this thing ends up in Hershey at the end of the tournament, the state tournament. And wouldn't that be something if one of those teams got into their...
Can you imagine if both of them got there? That would be very, very insane.
I guess it's possible. We'd have to see the brackets when they come out for the states. But 10 teams advance out of the 5A in District 3. So more teams coming out of 5A than 6A for District 3. And it's a complicated formula. If you look at it, to try to figure this out and try to explain it, we'd be here for a little while. But they play it out, the quarters, the semis, the championships, and then there's playbacks.
Yeah, so they have a consolation semifinal that goes in. Yeah,
third place, fifth place,
yeah,
and ninth place. Interestingly enough, not
Intriguing.
seventh. I don't know why.
Intriguing.
Oh no, here it is, seventh on the other side.
Wow.
So there is a third, fifth, seventh, and ninth place playback game.
It's a way to get everybody in.
And there's more games, and
absolutely.
it's so much fun. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is great.
All right, let's take a look at 4A really quickly. We want to do this quick because we are spending a lot of time on District 3, and as much as I want to, there's just so much else.
There is.
Let's talk District 3. I'm just going to give the top 3 in this one here for 4A. So top 3, you've got Middletown at 15-6.
Very good team.
Berks Catholic at 18-2, and Lancaster Catholic at 20-2. And, in their bracket here, you do have bye rounds. We got a decent amount of byes coming in here.
Yeah.
So you've got Lancaster Catholic. They're at 22-2, and you can see this bracket up on your screen right now. You got Lancaster Catholic is waiting for the winner of the 8-9 matchup with Susquehanna Township and Bishop McDevitt. You've got Kennardale sitting at 18-6. They're waiting they are going to play Littlestown. They both get byes into this next round, into the quarterfinals. That'll be next week. Berks Catholic is at the number 2 slot. They have a bye into next week. They're waiting for the winner of Northern Lebanon and ELCO, Elko, they're sitting at 12 and 10. Middletown and Boiling Springs both getting a bye into the next round. And those next round games will take place on the 22nd. But guys, this is really another bracket similar to the 5A where there are a lot of playback games. You've got a lot of games where they do these crazy brackets of loser games and different marks. It's very
Some
interesting.
genius came up with all this.
You have to be. You would have to be.
Well, I think it's also a testament to, obviously as you guys said, wanting these kids to play as much as possible and whatnot. I like having the playback simply because if you're going to have if you're going to have 6 teams, let's say, we said 6 teams come out of 6A, right?
Yeah.
You need to have teams to represent that 3rd through 6th
so they
seed.
give them another opportunity, even though they lost.
Yeah, because you got to figure it's not single elimination. It's not like now obviously in the first round it might be, but if as you get further, as you win games later in the season, you need to be rewarded in some way to continue to play longer, and that's why having these playbacks are really nice.
And this is interesting. I just happen to know this because my brother is a referee tonight. Boiling Springs scheduled a tune-up game. Even though they have a bye, they scheduled a tune-up game for tonight.
Really?
Against Steel High.
Oh, wow.
Which is
that's
no slouch team.
No, that's not.
My brother's on the game. He's reffing the game.
Oh, wow.
So I happen to know that. In fact,
And this has nothing to do with. This is just simply
they just scheduled it to tune up
preseason
for Thursday. Yeah.
Huh.
So they scheduled a game tonight. Now, what if somebody gets injured? It's a possibility. You never know.
That's. That's a risk that you have to be willing to take.
That's
wow.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
so,
I hate to cut this off. Really quickly though, I'll take. Who do you guys think comes out of 4A as the champ? Who do you guys think here? Really quickly.
I think it's going to come down to the between Berks and Lancaster Catholic, with Berks taking.
All right.
And I'm going to go with Middletown.
All right.
A surprise entry.
Put your answer to that in our comments box on Facebook Live. We want to know, who do you think's coming out of each of these brackets from District 3? We have so much more to cover right here on the Sports Fan Base Network. Stay tuned. We got a quick commercial break coming up, but stay tuned. You're watching 3 in the Key right here on the SFBN.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have spent 3 days with the most insane program, okay, I have witnessed in my 17-year career. It excites me, the presence of point blank period, of Coach Dooley, of Coach Fowler, of the people that he works out with, that he trains with, okay? It's exciting. And you have had the luxury of spending 3 awesome days with these people. I watched Coach Fowler play. Mr. Coach, you watch Coach Fowler play? He is one of the most annoying basketball players you will ever see in your life. Okay? Because exactly what he trains, exactly what he preaches to you, he does at all times. This is real habit. This is not a gimmick. This is real basketball. Real basketball. Something that he has found success with. He has spread the word.
We're talking goaltending here, and we're talking about high school rules as opposed to NCAA or NBA, which are slightly different. The referee is looking for 4 criteria. Number 1, is the ball on its way down? Number 2, is the ball fully above the rim? Number 3, was it an attempted shot? And number 4, did that shot have a chance to go in the opinion of the referee? If all 4 of those criteria are met, a goaltending call is made and the basket is good. Slapping the backboard is never goaltending. It's always a technical foul.
Well, welcome back to 3 in the Key. Thank you guys so much for staying with us. We talked about District 3 for a little while, gentlemen.
Yep.
We want to move on, though. We want to talk about the Whippy Owl. We want to talk about District 7
Even
a little
bigger,
bit.
even bigger district.
Even bigger.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about 6A, 5A, and 4A. We really didn't get into the Whippy Owl last week a lot, so we want to make sure we give them plenty of time tonight. We still have to talk about District 12 with the Public League. We still talk about Catholic League. So there is still a lot going on here. But before we get there, let's go to District 7. Let's talk Whippy Owl. Let's throw those brackets up on the board. Julian, if you can do that for me. You got those? Okay, so we got 6A coming up right here. So let's look at 6A. So Mount Lebanon and Latrobe getting buys into the next round. You've got Central Catholic and Penn Hills also getting into that next round. Latrobe beat Butler to get into this round. Sorry about that.
Right.
I'm reading my bracket wrong here.
That's all right.
Central Catholic took a bye. Penn Hills beat Upper St. Clair, so it sets up that matchup. Go to the other side of the bracket here. Woodland Hills had a bye. Cannon McMillan takes down Seneca Valley there. That was last Saturday. Fox Chapel gets a bye, and they are going to take on Pine Richland, who beat Bethel Park. Pine Richland, Bethel Park, that was actually a very interesting football matchup that we had last season. That was a very good football matchup.
And Pine Richland is a heck of a basketball team.
Yeah. Well, we got some really interesting games coming up here. Mount Lebanon, Latrobe, Central Catholic, Penn Hills, Woodland Hills, Cannon McMillan, Fox Chapel, and Pine Richland all coming up. Guys, tell me about a couple of games here you're thinking about. What are we thinking?
Well, Latrobe, all of these games actually, I'm not even going to go into specifics too much, but all of these games, just like in District 1 and District 3, were close. They were all, the furthest margin of victory was Latrobe's 73-66 win over Butler. And, you look at I guess this is the quarterfinals now. This is really interesting just because I thought Pine Richland was a lot better than what they're seeded right now. They didn't end up with a bye. They had to get a top 4 seed to get a bye, and they weren't. They didn't finish as a top 4 seed. But Pine Richland, I think, is going to make a lot of noise in this bracket, and I'm predicting for them to maybe get to the championship game.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the team that has the football players?
Yeah, Jerkovich.
And he is
great.
Such a great athlete. From football.
He's going to be great. Yep.
I mean, he's going to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about it.
Jerkovich had.
Is he going to Notre? Was it him?
I think Notre Dame.
He's going to Notre Dame.
He made such an impact. He scored 23 points in the win over Bethel Park, and he scored 14 of them in the second half, and also had 10 assists too. So this kid is just
he's just an amazing all-around. He's also a baseball player.
Well, it actually surprises me that once he committed to a college for football, I'm surprised they would even let him keep playing.
It's unusual
basketball.
these days.
Yeah, I'm surprised they would even let him do that. Wow, that's.
I mean, imagine if he got a serious injury.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm sure that head coach.
This is a guy who,
thinking.
as we said, is probably going to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
And think about that if he had a serious injury.
Matt Ryan was a basketball player, though, too.
Sure.
Wasn't he?
There's a whole bunch of them. I mean,
a lot of them.
Foles. Foles was a basketball player.
He's tall. He was
a tall guy.
Oh, you mean St. Nick? You mean St. Nick? That's right. That's right. All right, let's keep going on here. We talked 6A. Let's talk 5A. So let's get this next bracket up. Thank you very much, Julian. So coming up now, Mars takes a bye. They are going to take on the winner of tomorrow's Hampton and Gateway game. Also tomorrow, McKeesport and Armstrong, they will take on the winner of the Trinity and Greensburg-Salem matchup. So Highlands on the other side of the bracket. Highlands gets a bye here. They're going to take on the winner of the West Allegheny and Laurel Highlands game. Franklin Regional takes a bye. They'll take on the winner of Moon and Albert Gallatin. So lots of games happening tomorrow night. So this time tomorrow, we'll be able, on Tuesday night, we will be able to know what this next round of the bracket comes
And the most
against.
interesting thing, to me anyway, about this bracket is that Mars is on one side and the Moon is on the other side.
That's great. I love that. I never would have put that.
Moon is on one side, Mars is on the other side.
Fantastic.
And the possibility exists, once again, of a Mars-Moon.
And that would probably be the most.
That's a merchandise dream right there.
It's like a science fiction movie.
That is it.
They both come from the same.
They come from different worlds.
They're very
Yes,
but they're
they
very.
come from the same section.
All kidding aside, they're very close to each other geographically.
Yeah, they come from the same
weird,
section in the 5A in the Class 5A section of the Whippeal. And if these two meet each other, which is obviously very possible, considering that they're literally on opposite ends of each other in the bracket,
they finish first and second.
That would be that would be a very intriguing matchup, and I would assume a very highly attended matchup.
We're joking about it, but these are two really good teams.
These are.
Mars is 18-4 and 11-1 in conference, and 17.
But Mars gets the bye round, and that's crucial.
Yeah, that is. But let's see. Moon plays Albert Gallatin, which I don't know. I don't know anything about Albert Gallatin. Do we know anything about them?
No, I don't know much about them.
Sounds like a charter school, actually. I don't know, but
Mars gets the bye round, and if they do go to the championships, they will, because of the way that they work the seeding here, they will get the home court advantage on that.
It does appear that way.
That's true.
All right, guys, let's go to 4A.
Yep.
All right, let's go to 4A. That bracket is up there for you guys to check out at home. Quaker Valley takes a bye. They will take on the winner of the Valley South Park game. Indiana takes a bye. They'll take on the winner of Central Valley and Uniontown. Newcastle on the other side of the bracket, they take a bye. They go against the winner of South Fayette and Freeport. And then you got Bell Vernon with the bye taking on the winner of Ambridge and Deer Lake. So again, 4 teams advancing on byes, waiting on 4 games to come up. Those are all happening on Saturday, the 24th.
And the team we know most about is Quaker Valley. We've mentioned them a couple of times. As far as I know, they're still undefeated.
I
believe they have not lost a game.
No, they're 21-0. They haven't lost a game.
And they are winning by more than 20 points a game.
Yeah, they score exactly 71 points and only give up 50.
Wow.
So I was close. 21 points a game is their average margin of victory. So this is a team to be reckoned with. This is a big-time 4A team.
We've talked about them a couple
because
times
they may
on
end
the
up,
show.
If Imhotep gets that far, it could be a very interesting battle there.
We've been talking about it since January, a Quaker Valley Imhotep
That's right.
final.
All right, guys.
That's right.
District 12. Public League action. The semifinals are set for Tuesday. That's going to be taking place at South Philadelphia High School. Let's take a look at some of these games that are coming up here. So 6 p.m. start time. This is going to be Mastery North versus Imhotep. Mastery North are coming off a big win over Sankofa. Possibly, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, possibly the best public league quarterfinal game. And then we want to talk about Constitution and King. But first, let's talk Mastery North versus Imhotep.
Okay, TEP won the first game between those two. I was there. I was covering it as a reporter, photographer. MCN just really could not stay with TEP in that game. Look, and Dante Scott was out that game. Remember, he was punished. He was he
had a
suspended, whatever it was.
A little bit of an issue.
He wouldn't tell us why, but whatever the case was, he was not playing that game. He's a big time player, Dante Scott. So you add him into the mix, MCN's going to have their hands full. However, the other side of it is that MCN has been playing really well lately, like getting better and better. And this young fella, Lakeem Makaleli, I think is how you say it. Is that good? Is that close enough?
Good enough. Good enough for me, yeah.
All year I've been having trouble with that name. Makaleli, I guess, improving game by game. Very, very athletic. 6'3" junior lefty. Had 25 points versus Sankofa. And every game he just gets a little bit better. Harold Daly, Jameer Reed also playing well, and Taj Campbell. So this MCN team, it's really not of the caliber of a nationally ranked team like Imhotep, but you never know what's going to happen.
All right.
So we'll see.
Constitution versus King. This is going to be the second game here in the series. 7:30 p.m. start. Constitution versus King.
Constitution, very well coached. Rob Moore is the head coach there. Always produces. He's won a state championship and always gets deep into the states. King is coached by Sean Colson, the ex-professional player, and assisted by Jason Lawson, also an ex-professional player. So King has won some good games lately and really coming on strong at the end of the season. Constitution beat Lincoln 89-77. Lincoln was a pretty good team.
That was a pretty big surprise to me because I had Lincoln moving on further than that. I did not see them falling at all to Constitution, but I guess that just...
Well, again, Rob Moore really gets a lot out of his players, especially towards the end of the season. I mean, Lincoln was loaded with a lot of versatile talent. They had the 7-footer, although he couldn't score much. He didn't score hardly at all this year, but he was a presence.
All right, guys. Well, we got to sneak one more quick break. There's a very, very quick break coming up. We got to sneak one more quick break in here. We do still have to talk about Catholic League, Carroll, Catholic, Prep, Bonner Prendy. So much happening there. And this is one more chance for you. Take this moment. Get your answer in for the trivia question. Again, most career points as a Delaware Valley player. We're going to go to Cap on this, but make sure you get your answer in on Facebook Live. Stay tuned to 3 in the Key right here on the Sports Fanbase Network.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fanbase Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Let's talk live ball contact versus dead ball contact. We're trying to determine whether we have a common foul, a technical foul, an intentional foul, or a flagrant foul which ejects the player. So, a live ball contact is never a technical. Live ball contact must be ruled either a common foul, a shooting foul, an intentional foul, or a flagrant foul. In high school rule, an intentional foul means that there was no attempt to play the ball. A deliberate foul was taken without a basketball move. That's an intentional foul. If that player was attempting to injure or hurt his opponent, it can be considered flagrant, and that player is then ejected. Now, let's take a dead ball situation. The whistle has blown on a violation or a foul or whatever the case may be, and a player comes over and shoves another player or hits another player. Now we have contact during a dead ball situation. That is always a technical foul. Can it be a flagrant technical? Yes. Again, if there was an attempt to injure that player, a technical foul can be ruled flagrant, and that player can be thrown out of the game and sent to the bench. In high school, a player goes to the bench when he's ejected, not to the locker room. And that's live ball, dead ball, contact fouls.
Welcome back to 3 in the Key right here on the Sports Fan Base Network. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are in our final segment of the night, guys. We have covered so much, but, you know, we have to talk about the Catholic League. The semifinals are set, guys. Wednesday at the Palestra.
I can't wait.
I've been to the Palestra so many times, and just to have that opportunity to play there, it really is the best. That's what Philadelphia basketball looks like right there. So 6:30 p.m. We've got number 1, Bonner Prendy. They're taking on number 4, Archbishop Carroll. So, guys, wow. Game of the week. SFBN Game of the Week. Carroll goes on. They beat Archbishop Wood. And this means the defending champion is now out of the playoffs. And they are not eligible for state playoffs, guys. So, Bonner Prendy, number 1, taking on number 4, Archbishop Carroll. What are we thinking here? And we got some highlights, so let's make sure we check out these highlights while we're talking.
I haven't seen them yet because I was out of town.
Yeah. Bishop Wood in the black, Carroll in the white and red, and we are underway. As the opening tip-off is controlled by Andrew Funk. Funk gives it off. Here's a 3 from Diggins at the buzzer, no good. And Carroll in possession to start the second quarter, 15-14. Carroll in front of Wood here with 2, with 1 at the buzzer, no good. Pickron with 3 seconds left in the quarter. Loses his dribble, gets it off at the buzzer, but it's no good. Hogard the rebound, tosses the ball down court. Archbishop Carroll victorious. It's Archbishop Carroll 69, Archbishop Wood 62. The Patriots are on to the Palestra.
Truly amazing highlights, guys. Really,
that was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That was really great.
I hadn't seen it before. I did not get to see it.
Well, tell me what you think, Kat.
Well, I'll tell you, A.J. Hogard is a sophomore, but he's a kid to be reckoned with. That's a really serious player on that Carroll team. And, of course, Carroll's very, very well coached. Romanchik, how do you say? Romanchik. Yeah. I should know this. I went to school with his father, Paul. But anyway, he's a very good coach. You know who his father-in-law is?
Who's that?
Do you know?
No, I don't.
Doug Collins. Really?
Okay.
He married Doug Collins, the old NBA coach, player, commentator.
Great
player. Great player.
One of my favorite Sixers coaches. One of my favorites.
And a heck
Never
of
got
a
the
player.
respect he deserved. One of my favorites.
Oh, he was a great coach.
Really, I always enjoyed
He also coached
him.
Michael Jordan.
He did.
In the early part of his career.
Wow.
But anyway, he's the father-in-law.
One day that Jordan's going to be good.
He might be recognized. He might be right. I don't know. He doesn't get enough recognition.
One day. I think he needed better shoes, and that was about all that was holding him back.
He had a nice jump shot. Anyway, Carroll beats Wood. Wood is out of the 5A state playoffs, which is,
their season's over.
Their season is
over. For them. Yeah, they're done.
Their season is over, and it's very disappointing to them. It's shocking to us. I think it's more shocking to them.
Not normal for Archbishop Wood to not be playing in March.
Especially about the strength of the Catholic League.
Oh, the Catholic League is just so great.
You realize they're out. It's amazing.
I mean, do you remember the season they had last year, Wood?
That is true. They won 27, 28 games.
All right. I mean, they were one of the best teams in the state overall. And,
so that's the 6:30 game. Bonner Prendy versus Archbishop Carroll. There's an 8:15 game. This is a doubleheader here. This is number 3 Roman Catholic versus number 7 St. Joe's Prep here. Okay. So Roman beats LaSalle to get here. Roman's trailing the entire game. They outscore LaSalle 24-5 in the fourth quarter. I mean, you talk about playing until the end and finishing it up. I mean, that is just proof right there that you got to hold on to that ball in the fourth.
I did not see the game. I heard Lynn Greer
Gotta take that
III had a
lead.
great game.
Yeah.
I forget how many points he had, but he had a great game. And Roman takes down LaSalle. LaSalle had a good season. They had a good
I mean,
season.
and LaSalle had their chances. You can't only score 5 points in a quarter. No matter
24
what.
to
No matter
5.
when that happens, that 24-5.
Yeah.
Blowout in the fourth quarter.
And let's talk about St. Joe's Prep for a second.
That's the more
So, yeah.
shocking game.
It
I gotta
is.
say.
So St. Joe's Prep, they
Yeah.
beat Newman Goretti here. It's a huge upset.
Yes, it is.
Speedy Morris beats his former player, now Newman Goretti coach, Carl Argel. So, big man, Ed Croswell.
Love him.
18 points and 15 rebounds for Prep. First time Goretti isn't going to the Palestra in over a decade.
Ed
Cap, what does that mean
Croswell-
to the history of this?
Well, I mean, this is really surprising, especially the game being played at Newman Goretti. First loss at home in how many years? I lost track. 10?
10 years.
Or 12 years?
10 years. 10
Is
years.
it 10
It's a
years?
decade. Yep.
So it's
10
a
years.
full decade since they've lost
Yeah.
a game in that tiny little gym down at 10th and Moore or whatever it is. I mean, this is a pit. That place is a pit for visiting teams. And St. Joe Prep went in there, Speedy Morris, head coach, and won that game. Ed Croswell is 6'9", and he's built like a grown man. He's built like a Division I seasoned basketball player. That's what he looks like. Big chest, big shoulders, big arms. He's a tough kid.
All right, let's get the predictions, guys. You got Bonner. I'm going to go Bonner Prendy and Archbishop Carroll first. Who do you like?
I'm going to go with Bonner Prendy
So am I.
here.
Both
Yeah.
going Bonner Prendy here.
I'm going with Josh.
All right,
Yep,
Roman
that's right.
Catholic
Bonner
versus St.
Prendy.
Joe's Prep.
Well, I mean, that's very tough. I'm going to go St. Joe's Prep just simply
am I.
because last game they only held the
right.
Newman Goretti to 40.
And you know what? I have a funny feeling, I could be wrong about that, but I have a funny feeling that this could be towards the end of Speedy Morris's career.
So you're
It
both.
might be his last year, or he might go on a few more years. We don't know. He's in his 70s. So we don't know, but how great would that be to go out with a Catholic League championship and possibly further for Speedy Morris?
Well, who takes home the PCL championship, guys?
Well,
takes
that
it
would
home?
be between Bonner Prendy and St. Joe's.
And St.
Prep.
Joe's, yep. Who takes it home?
I don't think anybody would have expected that matchup.
No.
I'm going to go.
Make a decision, guys.
I'm going to go Bonner Prendy.
Bonner Prendy.
I guess I'm going to also go with Bonner Prendy, although, again, it would be really exciting if Speedy were to go out with a PCL championship. Bonner Prendy is the first Delco team since 2011 in the Palestra. So that's pretty good. Carroll was the last team.
All right, let's take a look at this trivia question here. We were talking about it throughout the night. Who has the most high school career points in the Delaware Valley? This is District 1, District 12.
Yeah.
Cap, what is the answer
It's
to
not
this one?
Chamberlain. It's not
Chamberlain.
Maurice Rice.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not those two guys. But it's someone whose name is equally well-known.
Equally
and it's,
well-known.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe.
Kobe Bryant, who, if you watched his career in high school, you really wouldn't have thought that he would be the all-time leading scorer.
Well, and you know, it's funny, is I'd heard a rumor that he played basketball in Pennsylvania, high school basketball in Pennsylvania. He just never associates with Pennsylvania, so you wouldn't.
Not
be
too
able to
much.
know.
Oh, but did you see his home video when the Eagles won?
Oh yeah,
That was great.
Yeah, that's what we call a bandwagon jumper. That's
No,
what
you
we
want to hear
call
an
that.
intro? I'll tell you a
That's
very
what we
quick.
call that. Yeah.
I'll tell you a very quick story about Kobe Bryant. When he was a little tiny child, I was a photographer at the Palestra, and his father was inducted into the Big Five Hall of Fame. And I went back in my old photos. Now, this is like 30-some years ago, and he's holding a little boy about 2 or 3 years old, and it says Kobe on his belt, and it was Kobe.
That's cool.
And I have the old
That's
picture
cool.
of Kobe when he was like 2 years old.
Oh, wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
guys, we have to wrap this up as much as
Yep.
I don't want to. This was enjoyable. Couple of reminders before we go because we have some scheduling notes here. So, and this is really important, especially for those that watch live. So a couple of things. First off, Ari Bluestein. We talked about him earlier in the show. We love Ari. We're having some
Yep.
fun with him. Sorry about that, Ari. I got a pink slip waiting for me, I think. But Ari, he is going to be doing play-by-play for the PCL Girls and Boys Championships next Monday, February 26th. That's at on 12:10 a.m. WPHT. So again, if you want to hear those championship games, that's Monday, February 26th. It's going to be on 12:10 a.m. WPHT. Also, another reminder. This is for us for next week, and guys, we got to remind ourselves on this one.
Yeah.
3 in the Key. We are going to be live on Tuesday next week. We're usually on Mondays, But Tuesday next week, we're going to be going on simply because PCL championships are happening at the Palestra.
And
we certainly don't want to compete with that.
No, I will be there.
Oh, you got to be there too.
I will be there. Yeah, I never
miss.
miss that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we got to be there. Julian's going to be there too. It's a very exciting time. It's a very
great.
exciting time for all of us.
Absolutely,
Yeah, it's very exciting. Well, to everybody, we have to thank so many people. Thank you so much at home. This was an amazing episode tonight. We really enjoyed this talking basketball playoffs. So much happening. Guys, I think next week is going to be really interesting by the time Tuesday gets here. Looking at these brackets and how they have grown. But make sure that you check back here each week as the playoffs go on in Pennsylvania. And make sure that you comment. Even if you get to watch this show but don't do it live, please comment afterwards, share this out, like this page. Tell us what you want us to talk about in the weeks ahead as high school boys basketball goes forward. Really, though, so much more happening. Also, make sure that you go through and check out some of the other great content that is available on the Sports Fanbase Network. So we got winter shows like On the Mat with Mark Tribble. That's Tuesdays at 7. He's actually going to be on right before us. So there's going to be 2 live shows next Tuesday. He's going to be on the next one, next Tuesday. He'll come on, and then we'll be on right afterwards.
We might have to wrestle him off our set.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Okay.
That's going to be it.
He looks pretty strong.
Varsity Voice with Frankie Stokes, Wednesday at 7. In the Paint, girls basketball show, that's with Nikki Jones. That's Thursday at 7. Again, be sure to like, share, love this page, comment. It's going to go out through Facebook Live. It's going to go on to YouTube as well. We will be back next Tuesday. Again, not Monday, Tuesday. On Monday, watch those basketball playoffs. And listen, as Ari's calling those games, make sure you listen on 1210 WPHT. But again, thank you to everybody. And a big way that you can help us out is to give us that ever so important 5-star rating when you go through the podcast on the iTunes store. Please, that 5-star rating is just so important to us as we go through. Also, check out our website, www.thesfbn.com. You have some great articles, pictures. You can check out some of our old shows. Please, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much to our wonderful production staff, also Julian Bellman for helping us out, running and making sure that this ship stays going straight here. Thank you so much to everybody, to Jack Cap, Josh Abrams. I'm Richie Blyweiss, reminding you, stay classy and be good to each other.